Tigers won today 10-7 against the Minnesota Twins. They took the final game of a 3-game set, so we avoided the sweep today. So that's always great. That was the goal for today, and we accomplished it, so we will take that. We can get right into the box score, though. Badu, he went 0 for 4 today with a walk, so a pretty rough game, but at least he got on base once. That walk was in the fifth inning, and he got around to score, so a pretty helpful walk in the end. We will take that. Grossman, though, 0 for 5 today. Pretty rough day. Had a lot of fly balls hit out there to right to him, so at least he did something defensively, so we'll take that. Paradas was one of my prediction players. He went 0 for 5 today. Pretty rough day. 2 strikeouts, a pop out, a fly out, and a ground out. So he did everything today. He made a lot of good contact, a lot of foul ball homers like he usually has. He crushes the ball a ton, but he just can't seem to keep the ball fair, and it's always pulled foul every time. He doesn't really hit it oppo. So maybe he's just swinging a little too early, and they can fix that next season, and he can actually be starting to hit the homers next year, so we can hope for that. Scope, though, 3 for 4 with a great game. Also a walk for his hits, though. He got a double in the fourth, a infield single in the fifth, and then he homered in the ninth. So a perfect game from him. He was a great contract extension. I'm super excited that we have him for the next 2 years. I don't know where he's going to play next year, whether it's first or second, but he's definitely going to be a big role in our offense. And maybe even he'll be DHing towards the end of that contract. But I love having Scope on the team, and another great game from him today. He also had that walk in the eighth. That was pretty clutch as well. Candelario, though, he had 0 for 3 today. Another one of my prediction players, but 2 walks, so a decent game overall. 2 runs scored, so he was getting around the bases and giving us some points today. So a decent game from him. I really thought with him DHing, he'd be able to swing the bat well. And he had a couple pretty good swings, but at least 2 walks. Harold Castro, 2 for 4, a great day today. He had a strikeout in his first at-bat, a double in the fourth to score Scope, and then put runners on second and third. So that was a huge hit that started our fourth inning rally. He also had a double in the eighth that was super clutch because we were down in the eighth, and he scored the game-tying run, then once again put runners on second and third. So a great game from him today. That's how I always picture Harold Castro when we put him in the lineup doing. He played perfect today. Great contact hitting. I'm hoping the power can come soon. Maybe over the offseason he can work a little bit on that, and then he could be an everyday player next year. Great game from him, though. Nico Gooder, this was pretty shocking today. He's player of the game for sure. He had a solo homer in the third, and then a 3-run homer in the fourth. And then he also got hit by a pitch. So he got on base 3 times today, and he had 2 homers with 4 RBIs. That's absolutely insane. I don't think I'd ever see a 2 home run game from Nico Gooder, but he did it. That was a really impressive display of hitting against his former team. You always love to see that. It shows they shouldn't have got rid of him, but I don't know if that means we're going to keep him because he is up for non-tender next year, so I don't know if he's going to be a Tiger, but he's really trying to show to us that he wants to be a Tiger. Dustin Garneau, 0 for 3 today. He had a really nice sac fly to give us the lead in the eighth. Gave us our 8th run and made it 8-7. It seemed right there like we weren't going to get the run because a lot of times we get runners in scoring position with no outs and we won't capitalize at all. But luckily, Garneau got us a sac fly, and then the next batter, Willie Castro, was able to keep the inning going and score another run in the eighth by getting his first or second hit with a single in the eighth to score Harold Castro. But Willie, 2 for 4 in the day with another single in the third, so a great game. No real problems out there in left. Couple scary balls got hit his way, and we didn't know if he was going to actually field them. It took a couple weird routes, but overall a really great game from him out there in left. We can get right into the pitching, though. So we used 5 pitchers today, so we used a huge bulk of our bullpen. We'll be getting ready for the last series of the year against the White Sox, so a lot of people should be available. Scubo, though, went 3 1/3. He gave up 6 hits with 5 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So my line prediction was pretty off. Just like Casey, he had a rough day today. Most of the damage was from that 3-run homer from Donaldson, but he also gave up a homer to Buxton and a homer to Rooker. So just a rough game overall from him. I'm hoping he can I'm hoping this doesn't start a trend for the next year and he can actually have a really nice season next year. I don't think this will give him any trouble starting next year to have a bad start to end the year. He's still going to be confident and ready to go next year, but 6 hits is really rough, and it sucks that our two star pitchers cannot have good ends to the season. Hutchinson came in, though, and pitched 2 really solid innings. He didn't really give up his earned run. We brought Funkhauser in to get out of the inning, and he gave up the hit to score Hutchinson's run. So a pretty bad day from Funkhauser today. We usually trust him to limit damage, and we couldn't today. He also gave up a homer in the 7th to Byron Buxton, and it gave them the lead. So he tied the game, and then he lost us the lead. So a pretty rough day from Funkhauser. His stuff doesn't look nearly as good as it did in the beginning of the season, so I'm guessing he's just tired, and we'll have a fresh Funk to start next year. Alex Lane looked amazing today, though. He got us out of a little bit of a jam for Funkhauser's inning, and then he pitched a really clean 8th. So, like I've been saying a ton here, I'm really impressed with Alex Lane. I think he's going to be a huge part of our bullpen these next coming years, and it was a great inning and a third from him today. Fulmer came in and had a pretty stressful 9th. The tying run was at home plate, so it was pretty stressful. He got it to 3-0 count as well, but he bounced back and got it the final out. It was a great win today. We will start the White Sox series tomorrow. I believe it starts tomorrow. Yep, and then we will play out through the weekend, and that'll be the end of the season. So let's hope we can finish strong, maybe even end the year on a sweep and get into 2022 with a really good year.